What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Yeti Express DFS podcast presented to you by Draft Dashboard. Remember, you can try out all the tools I use in this video 30 days for $1 by clicking my link in the description below. Gets you access to the NBA, NHL, MLB, and NFL, all four sports right now. Great time to come on and try the tools for just $1. Here's the cheat sheet for today. One thing I'll talk about is I'm going to be playing 150 lineups today in the mini max. So I will have a big player pool today for just a 3-game slate. I had to get as many of these guys in here for my optimization plays. Let's get into the watch players tab. Before we do that, click the thumbs up button. That helps me out. If you're new to the channel, welcome, subscribe. That always helps me out as well. We're on our way to 250 subscribers coming up here soon, so help me get to that goal, and I appreciate all the love I get. All right, first up, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo, 33% projected ownership, 80% chance of hitting 5x, 10,300 for a salary. Defensive rank against Houston, against the small forward / power forward position is 10th, and they had the 9th best team defense overall. But he's Giannis. I think he's likely to see PJ Tucker defense. Not exactly sure how they're going to try and match up with Giannis. But either way, Tucker's pretty good defensively, but he's just Giannis. Next up, I have Luke Kennard. He was my value play yesterday. I gave all that to you guys in my video yesterday. 13% projected ownership. Great matchup against Atlanta, who is dead last against shooting guards and small forwards, and dead last in team total defense. Yesterday, he had 39 points at 3,300. Just an awesome smash spot, and I gave that pick to you guys. So I'm going to roll the dice again here. 4,700 is a big price spike, but I expect to get some of them, not a ton. Next up, I have Chris Middleton, 20% projected ownership. Again, same thing as Giannis for defensive ranks. But when you're running 150 lineups, Chris Middleton has to be in a few of them. I don't expect to get a ton of him, but I want some exposure. Next up, I have Eric Gordon, 14% projected ownership. This is a guy that I'm very overweight on in my 150 lineups. 71% chance of hitting 5x. Milwaukee ranks 20th against shooting guards / small forwards, and they had the 14th best defense last year. I think that with all of the dribble drive and kick stuff with Harden and Westbrook, I think you could see Eric Gordon get open and shoot quite a bit of threes in this game. That's what they're going to try and do. Next up, I have George Hill. I don't expect to get a ton of him. Now, this team defense stuff is going to be the same, but the position is going to be a little bit different. So when he's on the floor, he'll be going up likely against the backup point guard for Houston. Probably not Russell Westbrook, but this team total defense comes with Chris Paul being the point guard last year, so just remember that. Next up, I have Reggie Jackson, 21% projected ownership, 54% chance of hitting 5x against Atlanta. Reggie Jackson in his first game only put up 14, but he has played well against Atlanta, and he's at a so-so price point, so I included him. Next up, I have Trae Young. Trae Young is a damn good basketball player. Tough matchup against Detroit, though. Don't expect to get a whole lot of him, but I want to include him, 14% projected ownership. Derrick Rose, I gave him to you guys yesterday as well. He put up 32 yesterday at 4,400. He got a $1,000 price increase, but I'm still interested in him. Just make sure you keep an eye on his game status. Sometimes he doesn't play back-to-backs. He's an older guy in the league, but I don't know how they're going to manage him. It is only the second game of the year, so they might let him roll just fine, but just something to keep an eye on. Next up, I have DeAndre Bembry, $3,200 price tag, super smash value spot here. Kind of like I said yesterday with Luke Kennard. 30% projected ownership, 74% chance hitting 5x. Good defense. But other than that, it's just too small of a price tag. Next up, I have Andre Drummond. He was the player that I didn't have enough of yesterday. I had some shares of him. I ended up breaking even. I just had more Embiid than I had of Drummond, so that kind of backfired on me. But Drummond against Atlanta 19th against centers, 30th team defense overall. Look, until Blake Griffin comes back, Andre Drummond's just going to be in my player pool. He had a huge game yesterday, 78. He had like 30-something and 20, 3 blocks, 3 steals. Like, that's Andre Drummond for you when Blake Griffin's out. So until his price tag gets over 10K, he's going to be in my my player pool. Next up, I have Markieff Morris. Yesterday, he only had 18 points, but he's a talented player. And he's only 4,200 in a great matchup against Atlanta. Next up, I have D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell, 34% projected ownership. Really good matchup against the Clippers, who actually struggle against point guards and shooting guards, which was kind of surprising to me because Patrick Beverley has been there for so long, and he's an amazing defender, but there must be something that just kind of pops up. I don't know if that's more in the shooting guard slot or if the point guard slot, but D'Angelo Russell, solid play at 7,800. Next up, I have Alex Len, only 10% projected ownership. Don't expect to get a ton of him, but he is a guy that does have upside. You can see in his last 5 games versus Detroit, he has a 45 and a 43. When he gets starting minutes, or he's a guy that greatly benefits from people being injured. We don't have that as the case right now. But with that history against Detroit, I had to include him. 2 games over the 40s, and for a $5,500 price tag, you got to include a guy like that. Next up, we have PJ Tucker, 12% projected ownership, $3,900, 62% chance of hitting 5X, going up against the Milwaukee Bucks, who rank 13th against small forward / power forwards. Next up, I have Montrezl Harrell, 64% chance of hitting 5X, 19% projected ownership. He is actually my heaviest owned player out of 150 lineups. It's him and James Harden. I just really like the spot for him. I think they're going to need him. Guys like JaMychal Green, I ain't going to see a whole lot of time. Harrell had the minutes last game. I think he got a double-double. I think he's just a solid play with a ceiling of about 50 and a floor of about 35. So I think he's a safe play that I'm willing to roll with. Next up, I have Draymond Green, 30% projected ownership against the Los Angeles Clippers. Kind of interested to see how this team does without Klay Thompson. You're going to see D'Angelo Russell, Curry, and Draymond Green take a lot of the shot volume. Draymond Green's probably actually the best facilitator on this team, so they're going to get the ball into the high post with Draymond Green and do a lot of dribble handoffs with these guys. A lot of ball movement and a lot of dribbling on this team. I think that suits out well for Draymond Green. Next up, I have Patrick Beverley. Beverley, look at his last 3 games against Golden State, 43, 46, 46. He's played well against them, 17% projected ownership, 43% chance hitting 5X at only a $4,600 price tag. I'm a fan of Patrick Beverley. I think he plays hard. He plays good in big games, too. This is considered a big game, in my opinion, just because it's kind of a elite matchup. Next up, I have John Collins, 25% projected ownership, 51% chance hitting 5X. Not the greatest matchup defensively. He'll draw Drummond. I just included him because I want to share a few shares. I'll probably be under that 25% ownership, though. Next up, I have Cam Reddish. Look, I just looked at some starting lineups that he might start this game. He's 3,600. He's a rookie, and he'll probably play 25 minutes or so. I'm willing to take a chance on a rookie like that, 3,600. I'll take that. Jabari Parker from Atlanta as well. This is actually one of my favorite players in the entire league. This dude just plays hard. 79% chance of hitting 5X at 3,800. That's why you see the crown next to his name. hasn't had super success against Detroit. Hasn't had a ton of success overall in the last 5 games, but someone that I'm willing to take a chance on. JaMychal Green, I'll have a couple shares of him, not a ton. He just doesn't play enough minutes. But here's the guy that you might look at for trying to get some value. Lou Williams, 24% projected ownership. Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell are just elite players that don't start. And $6,700 price tag is not anything crazy. I had him on opening night with a pretty good game. He ended up with 39. Against Golden State, he's got 53 and 61 upside. So just player you gotta have to include when you're running 150 lineups. Next up, I have Bruce Brown Jr. Yesterday, he ended up starting, ended up with 17 points. He's only 3,400. Good matchup against Atlanta. Just another guy you have to include. Next up, we have Wes Matthews, 13% projected ownership at just 3,500. He's projected to start in this game. He might be the new Malcolm Brogdon. He might be the guy that knocks down some shots for this team off the ball. You'll have Bledsoe and Antetokounmpo handling the ball a lot, and then Wes Matthews in the corner shooting. So just another guy I'm willing to take a shot on. Landry Shamet, he's just got too big of a value on him. He's got a 5.3 value against Golden State. First game out, didn't play a ton, didn't have a great game, but he's Landry Shamet, and you need guys that are 3,700 to get you like 25 points in 150 lineups. So I don't have a ton of him, but I was interested. Next guy up is Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry is going to see a lot of shots in this game. He's going to see a lot of shots in this game against the Clippers. Clippers are, when you take a guy like Klay Thompson out, his shot volume should be upwards of 25 again. Just like I mentioned yesterday with Kyrie Irving, I said he was going to shoot the ball 30 times yesterday just because he's their only option. He's going to take that game over. He shot 33 times, and what more is there to say? When you nail a projection like that, you just know sometimes. So Stephen Curry's in a very similar spot to Kyrie Irving yesterday. Next up, James Harden, 42% projected ownership. I think this price tag is just a little too cheap. I think he should be more in like the 11K range. I know that Westbrook is going to take away some of his shot volume and some of his volume in general, but last 5 times versus Milwaukee, 62, 49, 50, 71, 50. Like, this dude is just a DFS monster, especially on DraftKings when you get 3-point bonuses. You get a half a point per 3-pointer. He'll probably make 8 threes, so there's, an extra 4 points there. He's got triple-double upside always, get you a couple steals. This is just the best DFS player you could possibly imagine, and he's got an 86% chance of getting 5X. He is one of my highest-owned players, along with Montrezl Harrell. Last guy I want to include is Maurice Harkless. I played him in the opening night slate. He ended up with 28 for just 4K, and that's smashing value. That's like 7X. So another guy that I'm going to include, I think he's going to play. He played quite a bit last game. I think he's going to kind of come in as the JaMychal Green reliever. And when they slide Kawhi to the power forward, they do all kinds of stuff here. So then if you have Harrell playing the center, you could have Harkless playing the 4 or Kawhi, either one. So I included him. We'll make one lineup over here on DraftKings, one lineup on FanDuel. So on DraftKings, I like this lineup quite a bit. I would like to get up from JaMychal Green, maybe get a guy like Markieff Morris. It's a lot of Detroit, but they're in a good matchup. Get your Harden. I think we could go safely to a guy like Markieff Morris. kind of think I just want to put Drummer in the center slot. Kennard. I think I'd rather get Bembry. Try and get some of these guys out of here. Giannis. Go to like Draymond Green. Detroit just breaks the optimizer today. Makes it kind of tough, but let's lock in Harden. Harden, Collins, Draymond, Harrell. Something like this is pretty solid. You're kind of just taking a chance on a guy like George Hill maybe getting there. But George Hill, Derrick Rose, Eric Gordon, Montrezl Harrell, John Collins, James Harden, Lou Williams, and Draymond Green. I think that's pretty solid. I really, really like Bembry today. See if we can get Bembry in here. And what can we do at point guard then? Can't get up to Beverly. Try and get up there. Can't get up anywhere else. Get off Lou. Sweet Lou. Get to Eric Gordon. Andre Drummond. Lou Williams. Something like this. Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams, DeAndre Bembry, Montrezl Harrell, Andre Drummond, James Harden, Draymond Green, Eric Gordon. FanDuel. Let's see what we got here. So we got Drummond locked in at the center position. That seems like an overpay for Russell over here. I think I'd rather just get to Harden. Harkless is a little spendy over here. Get down to a guy like Bembry. Let's get up off of Jermichael Green. Do like a Jabari Parker. Something like this leaves 700 on the table. So you could play around with something like this. But Patrick Beverly, Reggie Jackson, Derrick Rose, James Harden, DeAndre Bembry, Markieff Morris, Jabari Parker, Draymond Green, Andre Drummond. Anyways, that was a quick look for today. It's only a 3-game slate, so we kept it a little shorter. Thanks for stopping by today. Good luck today, guys, and let's get this wins again.